Hey YouTube, I'm back this time with my candle and wax empties for the month of October and November 2022. So, I mean, maybe not, but I feel like last time I did this, I had mentioned like, oh, I kind of want to get back on the track of doing this every month. I feel like I'm still thinking about that, but back in October, I felt like I just did not burn or melt enough to really make a whole video about it. So I decided to stick it out and just do an October and November empties together. So for some reason, didn't do a whole lot in October, but in November, I was home like relatively a lot just because we had a Thanksgiving break and I was sick over Thanksgiving, so I stayed home the whole time. But I just really made a point of getting through all of my fall candles. I'm happy to say that I did at least all the candles that I specifically imagined using up in the fall. I got through all of those by the end of November, so that was really exciting. So I'm going to share that with you. As always, I'm going to start with anything from Bath & Body Works or from White Barn, and then I'll get into my other brands. So without further ado, let's get into this pretty big candle and wax empties. So the first one that I used up is Pink Apple Punch. This is a release from, I think, Candle Day of last year. The key notes are crisp apple, sun-kissed melon, and sugar crystals. The notes have changed a little bit over time, but Pink Apple Punch is essentially like a kind of synthetic, bright pink lady apple scent is how I would describe it. I know there are a number of people who don't like it, but I really enjoy it. So I clearly popped out the wax here. That's because I think the wicks moved a lot on this one. The wicks moved a lot, so it just made me really uncomfortable to burn it by the end. So I popped it into my candle crock and just kind of let it go from there. So it did last quite a long time in my candle crock. I was pretty happy with that. I really wish I could have burned it the whole way down, but it is what it is. So for what it's worth, I got good longevity out of it. I'm a big fan of Pink Apple Punch and I would repurchase it. All right, Lana Cat, I'm gonna need you to get off this desk. So you can't really see her, but she's right here, just like parking it on this desk, and I need to put my candles there. Anyway, the next one that I used up that's not necessarily for fall, but I wanted to get it done is this Blends from the Summer of Market Peach and Strawberry Pound Cake. I don't really get a whole lot of the strawberry here. This just smells like peach meringue to me, which I have no problem with because for a long time I've been wanting a re-release of peach meringue. So it just, to me, is like Georgia peach plus a creamy vanilla, and yeah, I really like it. I think I have a couple more of these because I did stock up a little bit at the summer SAS, but yeah, I wanted to use it up just because I had a number of them and wanted to enjoy it. So the keynotes are juicy peaches, golden shortcake, and whipped cream. Yeah, it doesn't even say that strawberry is a note here. So yeah, I really like it. And some people have been saying, like, since it's come out that it's really weak or whatever. I popped mine into the candle crock by the end because, again, the strength was not an issue for me. It's just that, like, in a number of my candles recently, I've been getting traveling wicks. So this got popped into my candle crock by the end and did just fine. So I'm glad I have more, and if this comes out again, I would definitely repurchase this. Okay, so now let's get into my fall stuff. Most of my fall stuff is from last year because if you remember from just like, I don't know, watching my candle videos in the last couple months, I just didn't burn a whole lot last fall. So I've been really focusing on just moving through that stash. Only 2 of these candles are from this year, but all of them are kind of like mainstays or candles. Excuse me, can I help you with your life? Oh my gosh, cat. Anyway, so even though only 2 of these are from this year, all of them are candles that come out pretty much every year. So the first one I used up is Sweater Weather. This was gifted to me last year by a coworker. The key notes are fresh sage, juniper berries, and aromatic eucalyptus and fresh woods. Now, this discolored pretty badly. This is the first time that I've had a Sweater Weather, so if you are a Sweater Weather person, maybe tell me down below if this is common, but yeah, it just got really smoky and discolored. I think that it threw very nicely. Oh my gosh, animal. You little critter. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm so sorry that my pet has decided that every time I film, she has to be here. But yeah, anyway, mine just got really smoky and discolored. It threw very nicely. the first half it smelled really good, but then it just smelled burnt. I don't know. This was my first experience with the sweater weather, so let me know how yours typically go, but that was my experience with this. So I thought the fragrance was nice. It's just that the performance was just a little bit inconsistent. And by that I mean started out great, but then did not end well. The next one that I used up is one that I get every single year. This one is from this year. It is Autumn. The keynotes are bright red gala apple, juicy fig, eucalyptus leaf, and fir balsam. We've had those keynotes for a long time. And Autumn to me just smells like, I mean, it's a little bit conceptual. For me, it's pretty strong and in your face. It smells like a clean tree scent, not tree as in like fresh balsam, but yeah, it just smells like trees and leaves. But it's not cinnamon, it's more clean, and I think that's probably from the eucalyptus. But yeah, I really enjoy Autumn. It's one that I have literally every single year. It's always one that I purchase. I would definitely repurchase it. The other one that I purchased new for this year is just like Autumn. I buy it every single year. It is Cider Lane. The keynotes are bourbon glazed apples, maple sugar, and creamy vanilla. I'm pretty sure it's still Cider Lane that has like weird keynotes that aren't what they're supposed to be. This Cider Lane did just fine. Like I said, I had Traveling Wicks again, and the ones that I have put on my candle crock, it's not that they've been weak, it's just that the wicks have come undone from the bottom. So yeah, anyway, you can tell from where it gets like clean all of a sudden that that's where it was when I put it into the candle crock. So anyway, I burned it for a while, wicks traveled, and so I just popped it into my crock and it did a good job. So again, Cider Lane is always a good one for me. I always purchase it. The next one that I used up is Marshmallow Fireside. This is from last fall. The keynotes are toasted marshmallow, smoldering woods, fire roasted vanilla, and crystallized amber. This is another one that I get every single year. So I don't really know what happened with this one. This is the one that I burned last in October and November. This was actually pretty weak. I was a little bit surprised by that because for me, Marshmallow Fireside has never been like a powerhouse per se, but it's always done like okay, like been a very medium throw. This was pretty light to me. I would give it maybe like a 4 at best. Like it was all right. It's not like I couldn't smell it, but it just was not how Marshmallow Fireside usually is for me. Packaging is cute. I'm kind of like whatever on the wraparound stuff, but I think it looks nice, and the gray looks good, I think, with Marshmallow Fireside. So anyway, even though this was pretty light and it is from last year, I am going to repurchase next year because I typically have a good experience with Marshmallow Fireside. The next one that I used up is one that I burned over Thanksgiving when I was sitting at home literally all day, every day. And it is the Perfect Autumn, again from last year. So my Autumn and my Cider Lane were the only two from this year. The rest were all from last year, but again, they're all returning things. The keynotes on this one are fresh cranberry, spiced pumpkin, crisp apple, and rich clove. Now, the Perfect Autumn and I are not... we're a bit of an odd couple, you know, like when I look at the notes, I honestly don't feel like I would be a fan because spiced pumpkin is not my thing. I'm not really into clove. However, I think that because the cranberry is really what I get the most, I definitely love having one Perfect Autumn every year. I don't need multiples, I'm good with the one, but I really do enjoy burning it like late November. To me, it's a great transition in between like fall and then Christmas time because it's kind of in between. It has a woodsiness to it, but also I just really enjoy the cranberry and the apples. So I don't know if I would necessarily call it a sweet candle, but it's like cranberry and then earthy. I really love it. Definitely would repurchase it. The next one that I used up is Fresh Fall Morning. This one also was a gift from a coworker last year. Keynotes are citrus zest, woodland sage, and red delicious apples. And this one surprised me. It is pretty masculine to me. It's a woodsy, almost like cologne type scent. It's generally not my vibe, but I really enjoyed it. Would I repurchase it? I mean, maybe if I see it at a good price, but I'm really happy that, you know, being a gift, it just kind of had me step out of my own comfort zone to burn something new. And it was really nice. The next one that I picked up, sorry, I have my other cat is like making some kind of weird noises. I don't even know. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so the other one is, I think, in the living room. I feel like I'm hearing noises from the living room. Anyway, next one is Sugar Cherry Crisp, again from last year. Keynotes, sweet cherries, graham cracker crumble, and crushed almonds. And I really enjoy it. So I definitely get all of those notes. I definitely get like very first and foremost a like deep dark cherry. It's definitely not like a maraschino cherry, it's darker than that. And it does also smell pretty gourmand, a little bit creamy, a little bit vanilla-y-ish from the almond, but not too in your face. It's more of like the graham cracker and the cherries. So I really enjoy this scent. There have been like similar variations, like cousins of this scent that have come out the last couple of years or so. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying, I guess, just like generally having them. This is also one that got put into my candle crock, again, really because of traveling wicks. You know, like I said, for some reason in the last few months, I've had a number of candles just kind of like do that. But anyway, good thing I have that crock. But yeah, it wound up in the candle crock and did a good job in there. So even though these have gone in the candle crock, again, generally speaking, I've had good luck the last couple months. The last one that I used up is my second of 2 blueberry maple pancakes, also from last year. Keynotes are wild blueberries, griddle fresh pancakes, warm maple syrup. I don't get a pancakes note here. For me, blueberry maple pancakes is like a blueberry syrup scent all the way. I really enjoy it. I wish it had like a buttery pancake note to it, but it is what it is. It's still a great fragrance. I would still repurchase it for sure. So those are all my Bath & Body Works candles. I'm using it right now, so I guess technically it's not an empty, but I don't want to hang on to this box. Right now in my office at work, I am using 2 of the Frosted Cranberry Wallflower plugs. I had never used wallflowers before this year. For a long time, I just never bought them because I hear so much, or like so many people saying that they're inconsistent, or maybe they don't last very long or whatever. I started buying them just when they're cheap, because now that I have an office that most of the time I'm the only person who's in it, for me it makes sense to have wallflowers and be able to enjoy them, because I don't have like a whole bunch of like kids in my space anymore. So anyway, Frosted Cranberry, I get a lot of compliments on this for people who like pass by, or when people come into my office, they always say that it smells good. I've got 2 in my office, and my office is like a former computer lab, so it's not quite the size of a classroom, but it is like awkwardly large for one person's office. And I find that 2 wallflowers will fill the space pretty nicely, and I find that having 2 in that space keeps it going for the entire month. So I popped this in maybe about 2 weeks ago, and they're still pretty solid. So I'm still pretty happy with how this is going. All right, so let's get into other brands. I also used up one of my Yankee candles. I used up a large jar in Yankee Blueberry. I love Yankee's Blueberry. It is so good. To me, it's very nostalgic. My mom used to burn blueberry, like Yankee blueberry candles during October. So to me, this is actually a Halloween scent, which I know is a little bit unusual, but I really love blueberry for October. So I typically don't burn Yankee candles just because they don't really do anything for me when I burn them. So I will just stick them in my crock, and they'll last about a week to a week and a half for me. So to me, that is worth it when I get them on sale, and they always look really dark in the end. And then that's what they look like. So the wick is long gone toward the bottom. Sometimes there's like a big like dip in the middle, but this one just did this. But anyway, yeah, the wick will get swallowed up into the abyss of the candle, and then you probably won't see it anymore. But yeah, that's what it looks like. You know, because of the shape, I don't try to pop out the wax or do anything. I just kind of let it be. But yeah, I have several more of these. I love the scent, so good and nostalgic. All right, so now let's get into some wax melts. I have one that is a local brand. This is Be Nurtured, and it's a wax melt clamshell in fresh bamboo. I'm gonna look up this person's website, if they have a website, which they probably do. I'll link it down below, just so that if you're interested, you can check it out. So kind of unusual, but I went to Fashion Week back in, gosh, maybe like September, something like that. here in Kansas City, and they had vendors there, and there was a wax vendor there. So I bought a couple of clamshells off of this woman who was working that booth, and one was fresh bamboo. It just smells like fresh bamboo from like Bath and Body Works is really what I got from it. So it was nice. For me, soy doesn't do an incredibly amazing job with longevity, but while it lasted, it was really nice. So again, in fact, she does have a website. It's right there, benurtured.org. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it down below because ultimately I was happy with this clamshell, and I thought that it was reasonably priced too. So anyway, it's a local thing, whatever, but I just happened to pick some up a couple months ago. Would repurchase it. The next one that I used up is a Walmart wax. This is from Better Homes and Gardens. This is white Tahitian wood. The key notes are bergamot waters, white pineapple, sea salt, coconut, birch leaves, lavender, sandalwood, teak, and cedarwood scent notes. This to me smells pretty conceptual. Like I definitely get the pineapple there. I get a coconut and a sandalwood. There's a lot going on here. I do like it though. I would describe it as like a clean coconut, pineapple, sandalwood. Like I know that's a little bit strange, but I really enjoyed it. I would repurchase it. I don't think I would hoard this, but I would repurchase it because it was nice for like a sunny day when I just wanted to be fresh in my apartment. This was great for that kind of day. The last Walmart wax that I used up is from Sensationals. This is pumpkin cream and marshmallow. You guys know I'm not really a pumpkin spice person, but I really liked this one. The cream and like the marshmallow really cut that pumpkin cinnamon fragrance that I don't really care for, and it actually made it really nice. I've had a number of these in the past and I would repurchase it. So this is kind of my limit for pumpkin spice, but this is a nice one. The next one that I used up is from Yankee. I purchased this, I want to say back in like late August or September. This is Farm Fresh Peach. And I did like it in the clam. I thought that it was pretty weak. Like even for a wax melt from Yankee, I thought it was pretty weak. It just kind of smells like a peach spread or like a peach jam, I guess. So like I said, I really enjoyed it in the clamshell, which is why I purchased it, but I don't think I would repurchase it just because it was pretty weak in my wax warmer. So I'm glad that I tried it, but I think I'm gonna move on with my life. The very last item that I used up is actually from Goose Creek. This is my last Goose Creek item that I have. It is the wax melt in Caramel Apple Lane. There's a bit of a glare there, but there it is, Caramel Apple Lane. And this essentially just smells like cider lane to me. I mean, to me, it's a green apple with caramel. I feel like I get a little bit of a cinnamon spice here. I don't think that there are notes. No. So yeah, it just kind of smells like apple, caramel, and a little bit of spice, like a baking spice, not like Red Hots. But yeah, from all the Goose Creek that I went through, my favorite products by far were the wax melts. So I think I could pass for the most part on Goose Creek candles, but you will definitely see some Goose Creek wax melts from me in the future because I really enjoyed them. I did pop in 2 at a time, so I only got 3 uses out of this, but for me, they were so wonderful that it was worth it. So I would definitely pick up Goose Creek wax melts again. So that is it for my pretty big October and November empties for candles and wax and home fragrance. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on the Instagram at Schoolhouse of Iron. I'm going to put that down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.